Benjamin Franklin once discovered something strange about human psychology. Sometimes the fastest way to make someone like you is not doing them a favor, it is asking them for one. At first, this sounds completely backwards. We usually assume that relationships improve when we help people, when we give something, or when we try to make someone's life easier. But Franklin noticed that the opposite can sometimes be true. Early in his political career, Franklin had a rival in the Pennsylvania legislature who openly disliked him. The man was well-educated, influential, and had publicly criticized Franklin more than once. Instead of arguing with him or trying to win him over with flattery, Franklin tried something unusual. He wrote the man a polite letter asking if he could borrow a rare book from his personal library. It was not a big request, but it was specific and personal. The rival agreed and sent the book. A few days later, Franklin returned it along with a sincere thank you note. After that moment, something unexpected happened. The hostility between them began to disappear. The man who once disliked Franklin started treating him with much more warmth and respect. Over time, their relationship became surprisingly friendly. Franklin later reflected on this moment in his autobiography and summarized the lesson in a famous line. He wrote, "He that has once done you a kindness will be more ready to do you another than he whom you yourself have obliged." In simpler terms, someone who has done you a favor may feel closer to you than someone you helped. At first, this idea seems strange. Why would helping someone make you like them more? To understand that, we need to look at a powerful mechanism inside the human mind. The explanation begins with a concept psychologists call cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance happens when our actions and our beliefs do not match. The brain dislikes contradictions, so when our behavior conflicts with our attitudes, the mind tries to resolve the tension. Imagine helping someone you supposedly dislike. Your brain immediately faces a contradiction. If I do not like this person, why did I just help them? Instead of questioning the action, the mind often adjusts the attitude. The brain quietly changes the internal story so the behavior makes sense. Maybe that person is not so bad after all. Maybe they are actually reasonable. Maybe I even like them. By changing the attitude, the brain restores psychological balance. What Benjamin Franklin noticed through experience was later confirmed by scientific research. In 1969, psychologists John Jecker and David Landy designed an experiment that demonstrated this effect. Participants first took part in a study and were paid for their time. After the experiment ended, some participants were approached by the researcher himself. He explained that the research funds were running low and asked if they would be willing to return the money as a personal favor. Other participants were asked by the university administration instead, and a third group was not asked to return anything. Later, the participants were asked how much they liked the researcher. The results were surprising. Those who had done the personal favor reported liking the researcher more than the other groups. By helping him, their brains adjusted their attitudes to match their actions. In other words, the favor changed how they felt about the person. The mind prefers a consistent story, and sometimes it changes our feelings to maintain that consistency. Once you understand this effect, you begin to notice it in everyday life. When you ask someone for a small favor, advice, or a quick opinion, you create a moment where that person invests a little effort in you. That small action can subtly change how they perceive you. You are no longer just another person in the environment. You are someone they helped. Our brains naturally build positive associations around our own actions. When we help someone voluntarily, we often assume there must be a good reason for it. That reason quietly becomes the person themselves. This is why asking someone for a small and reasonable favor can sometimes build rapport faster than trying too hard to impress them. But there is an important limitation. The favor must remain small, voluntary, and respectful. If the request becomes large, inconvenient, or manipulative, the effect reverses. Instead of liking you more, people begin to feel exploited. The Ben Franklin effect works because the brain is trying to justify a small voluntary action, not because people enjoy being taken advantage of. What makes this idea so interesting is that it challenges our intuition about relationships. We often believe that our feelings guide our actions, but sometimes the opposite happens. Sometimes our actions quietly reshape our feelings afterward. And that means that occasionally, the fastest way to build a connection with someone is not by helping them first, but by giving them the opportunity to help you. If you enjoyed this content, please like, comment, and share to encourage the production of more videos. See you in the next one. Thank you.